It's been a few years now that Sony has rolled out its next generation PlayStation VR headset, the PSVR 2, for a staggering price of $550. That's $50 more than the actual original retail price of the PlayStation 5. And believe me, I think Sony realized that they may have overestimated the demand for this piece of hardware, especially because around this time of the industry in the market, I mean, virtual reality is a thing. There is definitely a community for it. There are gamers who love using VR. I feel, though, it thrives the most on PC. And it took Sony a few years to realize, especially after the amount of sales that they were able to sell the units for. I think it was about 2 million units worldwide. I mean, that's great numbers, but not great enough for Sony. They realized that they needed to bring the PSVR 2 to the PC market because that is where the players are really at. And, you know, you can only produce so many games on your exclusive platform before you realize, you know, virtual reality headsets kind of need a more robust, you know, a long-term, more versatile library of games. And Sony really faced a significant struggle in the market because of this. And, you know, the hardware isn't bad. It received great reviews. I mean, its build quality, the comfort, the performance, it was great. But that $550 price point, that's a little crazy. And the fact that it was only on the PS5 until just now still did not make it very enticing. You know, you have cheaper alternatives out there like the Meta's Oculus headsets and I believe even the Valve Index. And so now Sony has decided to reduce the PSVR 2's price by $150. It's dropping to $400 in this month of March. And yeah, the price cuts is something that is great, but it does question whether or not it's a genuine attempt to reinvigorate the product or simply move to clear out excess inventory. I think it's both, to be honest. You know, this was supposed to be Sony's little, I'd say, cash cow on the side, but the lack of standout killer games, killer apps really hindered this headset's growth because that's what it really is. You can't push a console or a piece of hardware without the games. And there were some contenders. I mean, we had games like Alien Rogue Incursion, Skydance's Behemoth, which I heard is great, Metro Awakening VR. I mean, these are games that did arrive to that platform, but they still weren't major titles that could drive mass adoption or just trying to, you know, just to help sell or push the console whatsoever. And this recent price reduction also raises the many questions about Sony's commitment to virtual reality. You know, while lowering the price might help attract new buyers, it also underscores the difficulty of sustaining a profitable ecosystem because I know, deep down, and Sony has done this many times in the past, they always sell consoles at a loss. And they do that because that means as long as they can get players on the hardware and buy the apps and subscribe to the services, that's where they make their profit. And sooner eventually, the laws of economics, you know, the economy of scale and manufacturing costs dropping lower than they're able to, you know, then they can make a profit. But I don't think they're making any profit anytime soon now, dropping by $400. So what is the fate of Sony's PSVR 2? I think that it will slowly die out on the PlayStation 5 hardware, but it could live on the PC ecosystem. That's where I think it will really thrive because PC has tons and tons of games that are coming out from modders, from indie developers. And to be honest, it has some great features that if Sony could really try to fully optimize and port into PC, I mean, the haptic feedback, there was a few other crazy features that were only built for the PS5 console. If it could be available for PC, I'm telling you, it could just carve just enough of a market share for itself, specifically on PC. So I want to ask you guys, join the conversation, $400 PSVR 2 headset. Could this finally be the time you buy it? I mean, it's been a few years now. It's a shame we had to wait that long, but hey, it's a nice price cut for anyone who really is still interested in dabbling with virtual reality. It's here to stay. And it's going to be here for quite some time. I think it's just like cloud gaming, where It's too ahead of its time, and I think there will come a day, maybe 10 years from now, where VR is going to be just as easy as picking up a controller or playing a game on your mobile. But that is not that day. Until then, we'll just have to wait and see.